All right. Next up, Josh, here's what I'm going to do. I have got, in case anyone sees that side of my head, I have sunlight blaring.
Just put sunscreen on today, John. You look like you need some sunscreen.
I'm actually going to block that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tee you up to talk about Steelers-Jags. Then I'm going to walk away for a few seconds so I can block that, and I'll be back. So I'm going to turn it over to Josh. You're going to see a blank screen on my side for about 60 seconds, and I'll be back. Anyway, Steelers-Jags. Steelers by 5.5 at Jacksonville. Line is 46.5. It started at 6.5, down to 5.5 right now. Over under, I see 46.5. I see 47. So where we had it earlier in the week, it sounds about right. Steelers have won 5 straight. Jags have lost 5 straight. You can tell everybody what you think of where these teams are going, and I will catch up when I get back. I'll be right back, Josh.
Obviously, I think these teams are going in 2 different directions. Steelers have been really good, one of the best teams in the AFC, and the Jaguars have been a huge disappointment this year, especially in the last 5 games. That they're a team who've given up 40 points a couple times, a team that has no quarterback play. That's worth a damn. Pittsburgh has been really impressive. I mean, the last 4 games, they've gained at least 395 yards on offense, and at the same time, defensively, they've given up no more than 275 yards. This is a pretty easy game for me. Even though it's at Jacksonville, Pittsburgh has played really well, and I think it's time to kind of look at Pittsburgh and say they're one of the teams that can win the AFC, the entire thing. I think what's interesting, and maybe I'll talk with John about this when he comes back, is moving on from Le'Veon Bell. And I wonder what kind of – and like John, I'm talking about Le'Veon Bell here and what that means. We know now that he's not going to play for Pittsburgh this season. I think that's probably a relief on some level.
Yeah.
Bell's you know what the news reports of when he didn't come to the locker room, and the news reports of the team – like pilfering through his locker and taking it.
They were looting. I don't say looting.
They were, yeah. I mean, on the face of it, you're like, boy, that's not very nice. Like, this is a teammate. They can't be just taking his stuff. And I do feel like I wouldn't look at that and tell my kids, like, hey, this is okay to do that. I don't think that's right on that level. But at the same time, you wonder, is that like some kind of team building exercise? Is that some kind of like letting off some steam there at kind of this 9 or 10 week or 11 week? Actually, it's been more than 11 weeks. It's been like months and months of drama with Bell here. Is he going to show up? Is he going to report? Blah, 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 blah. I wonder if, as kind of on the surface, it looks so like shady to do stuff like that. If it's like a team building exercise. And I think some of the Steelers said, yeah, this was good to like kind of let it go. And in this game, in this context, I don't think it matters because I think the Steelers are going to beat the Jaguars pretty easily. But at the same time, but for the rest of the season, you wonder like, okay, now the Steelers can officially move on, be done with Bell, and they played great without him. You know, now he's not. Now he's in the rearview mirror. Move on, and I wonder if that's a good thing for them.
All right, I don't agree with you that they're going to beat the Jaguars easily. I'm not ready to give up on the Jaguars.
And they've stunk lately, dude.
Coming home, I know they've stunk lately. They really have. You're right. They're coming home. Fournette's playing. He played okay. I mean, they didn't run well last week. That's for darn sure. But I don't know. They're getting A.J. Bouye back. That's nice because they're going to need it to deal with the Steelers, those 2 monster receivers that the Steelers have. I don't know. I feel like this is one of those – I don't want to write this team off to the point. I know they've been struggling. If they lose, I tend to think they're not going to get thumped. I tend to think it'll be close. And I think they could win. I mean, the defense is – I mean, there's still talent there. I know they haven't played that well. But there's these two – if Bouye's healthy, their 2 corners are still very good. There's a lot to like on the defense, talent-wise, and maybe they can bounce back to some point. But at home, I just feel like this is a lot to give them, a lot of points to give.
Who are you picking straight up?
Steelers. I wanted to pick the Jags, and I chickened out. Because I don't like them that much. It's not like one of those underdogs that I love. That's one that I sort of like.
Well, it started at 6.5. Right now it's down to 5.5. So.
Yep. Okay, we are on Pick Watch, 62% Steelers giving the points. That's from the experts. 76% fans giving the points.
Yeah.
So they're with you. Everybody's with you. I'm different. I'm being different on this one. That's what I like.
Different also sometimes means you're a loser.
That's pretty true. Happens a lot.